I claim my right to come out from under this. Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be sharing a little bit about my response, my feelings about the new series that's being shown and offered by Oprah Winfrey and Tracee Ellis Ross. I think those are two of the executive producers of this incredible series called Hair Tales. This might seem out of the ordinary for this channel, but for me, it's right aligned with what I share about here, which is about holistic well-being and self-love, and minimalism, believe it or not, is going to be talked about on this video. I love how Tracee Ellis Ross, I saw an interview with her and she said that this series, Hair Tales, is about Black women, but it's for everyone. And after watching the first installation, the first episode, which was basically focused on Oprah Winfrey, but also with some beautiful footage of salons and other women, I absolutely agree. I believe what I'm seeing from this series is, and it's something I believe, that hair can be this beautiful expression of our humanity. Hair as a statement and an expression, a storytelling of our humanity. And that's a story for everyone. That's something that everyone can benefit from. So in this video, I want to share a little bit about my take on the first episode and share a little bit about my own hair tales. And it's my hope that something in here that I share with you is educational or inspiring, uplifting, encouraging, something of that for everyone, no matter what your hair looks like. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Tumi. I am a dancer, a poet, and a medical doctor, holistic focused. I am passionate about holistic well-being, and I help people uncover and live their best, most delicious and healthiest lives. I do that through my healing dances that I create and perform for people, and through my guidance and expertise as a holistic-minded physician. On this channel, I create videos around holistic health tips in general, including my raw vegan lifestyle. I've been raw vegan now for over 11 years. I also love creating videos with lots of dance and minimalism as a beautiful statement and expression of self-love and health. If any of that sounds interesting to you, then consider subscribing down below. Definitely for me, my hair journey has been a vital aspect, one vital aspect of my healing experience and my healing journey. I talk about how I started locks and moved into freeform locks in another video that I'll leave down in the description box below, so check that out about my freeform lock journey. But there are two things from the first episode of Hair Tales that I want to talk about today and also share my experience that pertains to those two things. The first thing that I observed and felt is a better word, when Oprah shared her story, or a bit about her story, her Hair Tales journey, it was so humbling and encouraging and affirming that a human being, a woman as powerful, as impactful as Oprah, had these very vulnerable moments that pertain to hair. And I really hope you check out the episode itself, but I'll just share here that basically she had an incredible traumatic experience when she was working as a TV reporter, basically being told to fix her hair and fix her face at the age of 22, to get plastic surgery and also fix her hair. And that looked like basically a traumatic experience of her hair being burned, her scalp being burned by people who did not know how to take care of black hair, and her having a lot of hair loss from that. And I remember her saying in this episode that after that, she did not let someone touch her hair for years. And it made complete sense. And it's just so interesting to me how trauma can be an incredible portal for a woman, black woman, stepping and standing in their own power and saying, enough, you don't get to touch my hair, and really claiming their power, claiming our power. And I had a very similar experience, I think many of us do, of trauma catapulting me into really standing in my power. I talk about in my first video about freeform locks, that again is in the description box below, how I had a sensitive scalp, and my hair was getting relaxed a lot as I was a little girl and into my teens. And briefly at age 16, 17, I wrote a poem called No More Lies, or The Lie, play on the words, about how the relaxing was just a lie. It was a deception to myself, to others. And so I asked my mother to cut off my hair. And so I went from relaxed, quite frankly, limp, lifeless looking hair to a short fro, short crop. And it was not the thing in the day. This was 1994, I believe. But I remember a few weeks later, as my hair was growing into this thick, gorgeous, kinky, extra curly thing that I hadn't seen on my hair since I was very, very little and wasn't aware of it, I started twisting. I just intuitively started twisting my hair and then let it go, and the locks started forming. And then my mother helped me to get them into kind of more manicured locks. And so that began my lock journey. That was in 1994, 95, and I never looked back. So the trauma was the relaxers, the chemical straightening, the deception of these chemicals and what they were doing to my hair. And the journey of saying no more led me to a moment where I was applying for medical school, and I'd had now locks for about 4 or 5 years. And my father took me aside. He was never a fan of the locks. He was never a fan of it. But with the most vehement voice, he said to me, "This has got to stop. You've got to do something about your hair. It's a disgrace. You will not be able to navigate medical school with hair like this. It's unprofessional. Do something about it." He hated to see the kinks of my hair, the edges, so to speak. And this is before I even went freeform. I had manicured locks at this point. Looking back, I can understand that my father was speaking from his generation, and he's a Nigerian man. I'm Nigerian American, and I also think it was partly his personality and himself, but I think he wanted to protect his daughter, maybe in a way, and that was what was coming forth as this very angry, "You've got to do something about this, you've got to take care of this hair." And with all the love and respect I could muster, despite the fear I felt to speak out in a way that might be rude against my father, that was not part of my tradition, I did not do it. I did not take care of my hair. I did not get rid of my locks. I did not chemically straighten them so to fit into what he wanted, to listen to a society's norms about what was acceptable in medical school. I will just share briefly that that was me really standing in my power. I've continued to do so throughout my life. I graduated from my medical school, receiving a beautiful award, giving a poem, reading a poem to our class at the graduation ceremony, respected, I believe, deeply, getting into the residency of my choice, all with, by that point, it was like waist-length locks. And I did that because I was in my power. I believe that that was a huge part of that. And I also understand that there have been generations of women, including Oprah's generation, who have paved the path for going against the grain with our hair. So that is one example of trauma being a portal, being a doorway into standing in one's power. And I'm curious to know from you, whatever your hair looks like, how your hair journey, how a trauma in your hair journey, a trauma in your life has helped you stand more in your power, more in your authenticity. Let me know in the comments down below. There was one other moment in episode 1 I really want to call attention to, I want to speak about here. It was powerful for me, and it was a scene from the salon, and a woman in the salon. You know, the salon can be a sacred place, the hair salon, for Black women, of storytelling and healing and community. sisterhood. And one woman was sharing about how she went through a period of dark, deep depression. And during that depression, that she even began to have little locks, forming because she wasn't combing her hair, which is what our hair naturally does. And for her, that was neglect. That was a sign of depression. And she had a friend of hers who came and helped her straighten that hair and take care of the hair into a way that feels good for her, straight and kept. And I share that story because for me, it was beautiful to hear her story, but to understand that my decision to lock my hair and to freeform lock it, to let my edges be out, for me, that is the opposite of self-neglect. I made a video months back about how a lot of minimalist practices can be seen as neglect. Not wearing makeup. I don't wear makeup as a rule. It's not something I'm going to fix myself to for the rest of my life necessarily, but I'm not wearing any makeup now. There's shea butter on my lips and that's it, and that's usually how I roll. And my freeform locks, minimalist, beautiful. Freeform locks for me is definitely about minimalism and voluntary simplicity in part. But it's the opposite of self-neglect. It is, for me, such self-love. For me, it is about letting the hair that God gave me stand and kink and dance in the sun's light. And letting that be out, letting my crown be seen, and letting my crown be seen, and being so happy in that, having the freedom to jump into the ocean and swim and not worry about my hair. So I wanted to bring that up because it brings up for me the idea of not judging, releasing judgment of our brothers and sisters, of anyone who wears their hair in any kind of way, because I believe that it's about choice, and that's the beauty. That if we deny people choice and we say you have to be this, or you have to be that, you have to be relaxed, or you have to be natural. For me, that scene was a reminder that true sisterhood, true liberation is about accepting other women's choices around their hair, even if it's not your choice, right? Not judging women's choices, whatever they are, about their hair, because it's a very personal and sacred one, and it's one that can evolve throughout one's lifetime. For me, it's important as a physician, as a holistic physician, that women know what is in a lot of these chemical products or their hair products, even some of the ones that are deemed natural, to be aware of them, and from a place of knowledge, choose what they want to do with their hair, that's their choice. And I'm excited for a world where women, men, anyone can make choices around their hair, not from a place of fear of being able to fit in or be able to get a job, being able to sustain themselves financially, being discriminated or attacked, and not worrying about that when they make their hair choice. So I think my final question for you is, how have you judged, if at all, other people in the past for their hair? And in what ways have you healed that, or are you healing that judgment? There is something so powerful about storytelling, and this is one of the reasons I love this series, Hair Tales. I think it's through hearing our stories, sharing our stories, that we can truly see each other and see the humanity in one another. And by doing so, kindness spreads forth all over the globe, all over the globe. I hope there's something in this video that is uplifting and encouraging and or educational for you. Please check out Hair Tales. I'll leave a link to how you can find out about this beautiful series being offered. And if you enjoyed the video, please like it, share it with anyone you think might benefit. Subscribe for more. I will leave a link in the description box for more information about my work through my website. Feel free to join my newsletter if you'd like to stay in contact with me, where I offer holistic health tips, including raw vegan recipes and just guidance from a physician, dancer, poet, if that sounds interesting to you. Much love to you. Take care.